Saludos fanáticos y fanáticas de Boxeo 24/7 y del boxeo en general. Espero que estén todos teniendo un lindo fin de semana y que estén pasándola de show. Ya saben, gente, ha sido un weekend cargado de mucho boxeo. Aún falta mucho más boxeo más esta noche. Esperemos que podamos disfrutar y que sea del deleite de nosotros los amantes del boxeo, ¿ok? Esperamos que sea del deleite de nosotros. Y para seguirnos deleitando, queremos agradecerle a nuestros auspiciadores Tanis Diamond Boutique, los mejores en prendas y accesorios, mi gente. Ya saben cómo es, una joyería 100% digital. Ya saben, entren, mío, me gusta, corazón, lo que ustedes quieren, con mucho gusto se los separa. Mi gente, clip de pelo, solteras, collares, pulseras, cadenas, y están expandiendo el inventario, trayendo también prendas para hombres, ¿no? Hace poco nuestro buen amigo Marco Forestal estuvo haciendo, y también quiero agradecer a Details and More. Si usted vive en Florida y tiene una boda, ¿verdad? Quiere una boda bien organizada, quinceañero, aniversario o algún tipo de actividad grande y quiere que se organice bien, Details and More, no hay más nada que buscar, ya saben. Y también hacen canasta y arreglos para todo tipo de ocasión. Tenemos ya gente conectada aquí. Tenemos aquí ya a más gente, nos sigue desde Washington. Queremos seguir entramos y regamos la voz, ok, mi gente. Vamos a regar la voz aquí, denle share. Tenemos hoy un súper invitado, como es de costumbre. Bueno, gente, queremos que recibir con un fuerte aplauso y con gran alegría me complace a mí presentar a este gran boxeador, Daniel, el Tren Ramirez. How you doing, Daniel?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm good, sir. First of all, I want to thank you for saying yes and committing to your word. We
Thank
had
you for having me on.
the we had the pleasure to share with you personally last weekend on the show, Pro Box. So we want to thank you for committing to your word. So, Daniel, like we do with all our guests, I want to ask you the first question, like we always do. At what age and how did you got at what age and how did you had this interest for boxing?
I was 18 or 19 years old, and I started boxing with my friends just in the backyard. Me and my friends all just we got boxing gloves. We all just started fighting each other in the backyard. I was doing pretty good. I was beating them up. I enjoyed it, and then I went to a boxing gym. I got beat up, and I was like, man, like this is real, like this is cool. And then I started training, hard, going back to the gym every day, getting sparring, and just fell in love with it.
Did you what about your amateur career? Do you have some amateur career?
Yeah, I don't have a very big amateur career. I have about 11 amateur fights. Yeah,
Okay.
11 amateur fights. It was hard for me to get some fights, in the local amateur scene here in South Florida at first.
Because of the weight?
Yeah, because of the weight. A lot of times, like I'm bigger. I'd show up to a lot of shows, a lot of like local shows, and there was nobody my size to match me up with, and it was hard for my coach and us to get to tournaments and travel for fights. So a lot of experience just in the gym.
Okay. So Daniel, I would like to know also how was your approach for you to jump from some amateur boxing to professional? How was the approach? How was the offer for you to make that jump?
You know, I always when I was boxing amateur, I always like had the intention of going pro, and I knew the goal. And when I was boxing amateur, I kind of felt like I got to the limit of where I wanted to be and that it was time to turn pro. I was 25 at the time, and I was like, look, I'm getting a little bit older. Let me step my feet in the pros, feel how it is with small gloves, no headgear, and I enjoyed it. I mean, it's been good so far. But it was a good transition that I had my eyes on for a long time, so I felt ready.
Okay. So you fought Patrick Peer on May 25th of 2033, which was that was your debut as a
Mhm.
pro boxer, and
Yeah.
it was really good. It was a good card. There was some guys like Steve Grefford, Marcos Escudero, Wilmsky Joseph, and the list is going on. But something interesting, you were the B side on that fight actually, and you won by TKO in the second round. What do you
Mhm.
think that was your extra push for you to win it by TKO in the second round?
I mean, it was my first pro fight. It was here in Delray. It was in front of friends. It was in front of family, and I was in there, and I knew what I had to do. It was my pro debut. I knew I had to go in there and get the finish, and I did, and I worked hard for it, and I was happy about it. Yeah, it was. I knew going in there that I could just land that right hand, and that's what I did. I landed a nice clean 1-2. Cracked into the chin, landed some follow up shots, and then the ref stopped it.
Nice, nice. So you already have some. You may already made your debut then the on the right foot because you were fighting and you won by TKO. Your first fight you won by TKO was your debut. You were excited, so you did that. Okay. Then you fight against Johnny Ramirez and
Mhm.
Colombia. How was your experience in Colombia?
Different. That was definitely a different experience. Traveling somewhere to go fight, traveling out of country to go fight. Colombia was definitely just a different experience in general. Staying in like an Airbnb, moving around different gyms, trying to find places to get food and weigh myself. But it was a cool experience, and it was actually a good show. They actually did a really good job with that card. They had some professional cameramen out there. It was a good card. I stayed to watch the rest of the fights, and uh, and I enjoyed that experience because it was cool for me to go somewhere where no one knew me. I'm fighting in a different crowd. He actually had some people pull up in the crowd with some T-shirts with his name on it. So he had some people there for him, and I didn't have anyone, and that was a cool experience, and I really enjoyed it. I'm happy for it. I'm happy I had that experience.
Yeah, actually, Johnny is the guy from Colombia, so he was a local guy. So
Mhm.
that's all the supports and all that. So, when I had the chance to first actually see you for a long time, it was when you fought Carlos Cruz in Night of Prospects. Really good, really awesome card. 24 the August 24th. There
Mhm.
were guys like Ram. There was Julio Rosa. There was Edgar Morales, Amir Lewis, and a lot. How do you feel being part of that huge card, Night of Prospects, and for the first time? I think it was the first time that you fought in Night of Prospects. I think it is, and
Mhm.
how do you feel?
It was cool. I really enjoyed it. I like Box Light Promotions. I like Gonzalo. I think he throws a good show. It was really easy working with them, and they got me on the card. And it was nice because I'd been out for a little while, and then I came back. I had family and friends get to show up for that fight because my last fight was in Colombia, and it was a good experience. Being on that card, being backstage with some of those other guys who are local and support each other and are other rising talents, and seeing their performances. It's cool to be a part of.
And you fought Carlos Cruz. He was a guy that had more experience, but he could take every single one of those shots. He could, you hit him with everything you had, and he still standing. How was that experience for you? How do you think that experience will feed you for future opportunities?
It was good. I'm happy. I got a 4 rounder in, and he was in there. He was in there to fight. He threw some pretty big punches, but I did my thing. I was lighting him up, and I don't know, man. He had heart because he would not go down. I was lighting him up. He wouldn't go down, and it was a good experience to hit somebody and Still have him there, but it didn't shake me off my game plan. I stuck with my game plan. I knew what I needed to do, and I finished the fourth round strong. So, I'm happy with that experience. And I, injured my hand in that fight, and I fought through an injury as well. And, that was a great experience as well.
So that injury came during the fight or after the fight, or how was your injury over there?
It was during the fight. It was in the beginning of the third round. I had him against the ropes and I landed a right hand. I landed it. I could feel it. I landed it on his cheekbone and I torn something in my hand. I don't know if you can see I have a scar on my hand from the surgery I had to get after the fight.
Oh yeah, yeah, I can see that. I can see the
Yeah.
scar. Yeah,
You
yeah.
can see the knuckles swollen still compared to this big knuckle. But yeah, I landed it. I knew I heard it immediately. And I was like, it hurt real bad. And so for the rest of that third round and for the fourth round, I was trying to be careful with that right hand, but I was still letting it go because I wanted to end the fight. But it was a good fight. It was a good experience to work through an injury.
You know what, Daniel? I always respected you, but now I respect you more
Thank you.
because a lot of boxers they get injured and they just want to leave the fight. Oh my God, I'm hurt. Oh, I'm quitting this fight. And you
Yeah.
just if you want to be a world champion, you gotta keep on fighting with your injury. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because it's
Yep.
boxing. It's not basketball that you just go to take a break or whatsoever
Yeah.
and they just want to quit, but you keep on fighting with that injury because you might see, oh, just one round, yeah, but that injury with one round, the remaining rounds, they you feel that they're eternal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
I don't know if you agree with me, but it was I respect you way more now that you say that and you let us know.
Thank you.
So then after following year, last weekend, I think it was. And you went to Palm Bay. I was there also,
Hmm.
and you won by TKO in the second round. How was that? How was your latest experience for you?
It was good. I was happy to get back in the ring, especially after the injury. I had to go through, physical therapy on the hand, make sure it was healed. I was having problems with it in camp, but I worked through the injury in camp, taking time off sparring, taking time off hitting the bag, having to ice it, having to rest it. I wasn't sure if it was going to happen. And so just to make it to the ring was a big deal for me. And then I got in there and I put on a good performance. The first round I went out there, kind of landed the jab, did my thing, came back in the corner. Coach was telling me to work the body, started working the body. Sure enough, I landed nice little body shot, dropped his hands, right hand over top, and then the ref came in and stopped it. So I'm happy.
Okay, now me as a Puerto Rican, we people are kind of desperate in this kind of things. But is there something on the plans for Daniel? Is there nothing yet, or is there something cooking up? How will be your next time you get in the ring? Is there a date? There's an opponent or what?
No, no date yet, but if I'm finally healthy and after a fight, so I'm ready to get back in the gym. I'm ready to get back into training and get on a card. I want to get to 5-0 as soon as possible, and then 6-0 as soon as possible. So I would like to look for something July or August. I'd like to look for something local in South Florida. Have some people come and see me because it's been hard. I've been, in Orlando or Palm Bay, and so it's hard for people to make that drive. But I'm ready to fight as soon as possible, definitely. And when I
Okay.
do, people will know about it because I'm gonna post it and it's gonna be everywhere. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, and since you are part of us already, because you're in the show, we're gonna keep on looking on your career because we always show support to all the good boxers.
Thank you, man.
So
Thank you.
Daniel, how do you consider yourself as a boxer? Are you a technician? Are you an adjustment guy, or are you a guy that likes to throw, hit me, and I'll hit you? How do you qualify yourself as a boxer?
You know, I I want to go out there and I want to prove that I'm better. I want to go out there and I want to land my jab quicker than you. I want to land my jab stronger than you. I want to land my right hand before you land yours. I want to hurt you to the body and slow you down, pick you apart, and then put on a show. really, show the crowd, show everyone my skills, show everyone what I can do, how hard I've been working, and really like what I'm able to do in the ring against good guys. And I want that, and I want to be able to prove it, and go out there and just pick someone apart, and it'll be good.
Wow, man, that's really nice, really awesome. So, Naoya Inoue or sorry, Naoya Inoue or Ramon Cardenas
Sorry, say that again.
tonight. The fights for tonight: Naoya Inoue or Ramon Cardenas.
Oh, I mean, you got to go Nayo anyway. I mean, in a way, he's a monster. He's a beast. And like, I don't think you can ever go against him. I don't think you can ever go against him. And the pressure's on him because everyone's mad about this boring weekend of fights. So everyone's hoping Nayo in a way pulls out something great tonight. I hope so too.
Yeah, man, this weekend has been awful, man. So many
Terrible.
great fights and so many great matchups, man. So a friend of mine said, hey, "Yeah, I'm hype up." And when I got to, hey, what are you doing? It was like sleeping on the there. It
I
was
I fell asleep.
having some coffee and just it
Yeah.
was. I mean, Pro Box. I mean, no, not Pro Box. Sorry, Box like promotions. Those are little cards,
Hmm.
but those cards, like when I get there, I see the action. People go home happy
Yeah.
because they got their money's worth to be there. I mean, that last card, that was a 5-star card, bro.
Yeah.
And people gotta stop complaining. Oh, it's a small card. Those small cards are really good cards because the big cards they make some great matchups, but they don't want to give the people their money's worth. I mean,
Hmm.
I'll be mad because I can get my money back because
Yeah.
it was a messy card, man.
Yeah.
But they should make something about it. So Daniel, first of all, I want to thank you for being on the show. I hope this ain't gonna be the last time we're here.
Awesome.
I hope that for more future fights, if you wanna talk about something else, you wanna keep on being on the show. We give you the time like we do to every single one of our guests over here. I hope this is not the last time. I
Yeah,
also
me
want
too.
to thank Gonzalo who makes this thing possible. Gonzalo, thank you for supporting the show and having this guy with me over here. Thank you. So
Awesome. Thank you
Daniel,
for having me.
thank you for being here again. Like I would say like 200 times. I'll say 200 more. And we just hit us up and we'll give you the support, man. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank
Blessings.
you.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
career. Thank you. Have a good
Awesome.
night.
Have a good one. You too.